Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tommy from the Black Story channel. Hey, I did a little small piece on the police shooting in Alabama a couple of videos ago. This thing is not going anywhere. Just to recap, police officer, came into the mall. There was a young black man that they say brandished a weapon. His name is Emantic Fritzgerald Bradford Jr. So the cops just shot and killed a young man. So I'm looking on the internet, and this thing is broadcast around the world. BBC News or UK. I mean, it's all around the world. So I had a conversation with a guy on one of my YouTube videos, and he was basically asking me, well, not really asking, but just talking about maybe the young man or Emantic kind of like brought it on himself. And I had to disagree with him a little bit, because if anybody has ever served in the military, you pretty much know the difference between hostile act and hostile intent. I mean, both of them is very severe in nature. But what I was telling him is, when we was in Iraq, there were so many people walking around with AK-47s. So that was hostile intent on our part. But because they didn't point the weapons at us, it wasn't a hostile act. And that's the way a lot of military interpreted it. Now, both of them, I said again, is very serious in nature. But my question is, should the police officers be trained under military standards about hostile act and hostile intent? Now, I'm not no deranged or lunatic or anything like that. I totally understand if somebody is pointing a weapon, or if somebody is trying to kill other people, then the police officers then justified in doing what they have to do. So I pulled up the actual definition under the military law, what hostile act is and hostile intent. So I wonder if the military should train, civilian police department on this. What do you guys think? So here's the definition. Hostile act: an attack or other use of force against the United States, U.S. forces, or other designated person or property. It also includes force used against to preclude or impede the mission and or duties of U.S. forces, including the recovery of U.S. personnel or vital U.S. government property. That's hostile act. Okay, so hostile intent is the threat of imminent. See the difference in the word? First one said an attack or other use of force, but hostile intent says the threat of imminent use of force against the United States, U.S. forces, and other designated persons of property. Okay, it also includes the threat of force to preclude or impede the mission or the duties of the U.S. forces, including the recovery of U.S. personnel or vital U.S. government. So there's a difference between hostile act and hostile intent. So just think about this for a minute. Alabama is a concealed weapon state. And anybody can walk around with a weapon. Okay. And what if they don't have to have it concealed? I mean, you can have it concealed, but what if you don't have it concealed? What if you just have it in your holster and you're walking around with it? What the cops gonna do? Will they stop you? Will they, say, hey, what you doing with a weapon? What if you have the weapon in your hand and you just, cleaning the weapon, or if you just walking around with it, but you're not doing anything that would warrant the cops to stop you or do anything of that nature and ask you why you're doing this. I mean, I don't understand what their philosophy is. I was trying to to pull up the Hoover Police Department police policy on shooting, and I can't find it. It must be under their own server somewhere, and I can't really find it. But I think for the most part, police officers are not supposed to shoot to kill. They're supposed to shoot to wound. And if it warrants, then they should escalate it to killing someone if it warrants that. But I don't think this warranted. I don't think, from what everybody's saying, from what the witnesses are saying, that he was running with them. And it's a natural instinct, and anybody knows this, it's a natural instinct to grab your weapon and run, because if somebody's shooting at you, you're going to return fire if you need to. I still believe that they shot the wrong guy. Okay, we all know that. They know that. But what's really really jacked up is the police officer put out a statement saying that he was likely the cause of his own death. Now that's just adding alcohol to the wound. You killed the wrong man, and then you want to say that? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? You trying to doggone continue to just jab these parents that just lost their child? That's like a slap in the face. So the Hoover Police Department on Twitter, it put out a statement on Twitter, and it said, "We are deeply and sincerely sympathetic to Mr. Bradford's grieving family and all those affected by this incident. We want answers, and we believe that with patience and focus, the truth will be firmly established." Now, here is the part that I'm saying that they're going to slap you, and they seem like they're slapping the parents of EJ in the face. "We would like to answer some media questions concerning our earlier statements in a reference to the shooting victim, Emantic Fritzgerald Bradford Jr. of Hueytown. Earlier, we stated that Mr. Bradford brandished a gun. To clarify, the word brandish was used because Mr. Bradford had a gun in his hand, and police officers responded to an active shooter situation because between mall patrons." So brandish, they saying this brandish a gun, brandish. So let's look up the word brandish. Okay, I'm just gonna look that word up to see exactly what it is. Even though I know what it means, I want a actual definition of the word brandish. Okay, so under the word brandish, it said wave or flourish something, especially a weapon, as a threat or in an anger or an excitement. So did they say? Are they saying that Emantic Fritzgerald Bradford Jr. or just EJ? Are they saying that he, according to this definition, waved or flourished a threat or anger or excitement? So you got to understand about the power of words and how subtle and their meaning of it. So this is a way to justify why the police officer shot and killed Emantic. He brandished a weapon, so he threatened the cops. But only way we can see that is you guys need to pull out your video cameras. Okay, if you got it on cam, why aren't you putting it out? If you want to prove that EJ pointed the weapon at you guys and brandished it in a threatening manner, then that videotape should either exonerate you guys or tell you guys that you lied about it. So why isn't the tape been put out? You see, today I looked at one of Trevor Noah's his sit down on the Daily Show, and he was saying that along with Michael Moore, he's the director. He was saying that the Second Amendment, even though it's for the right of people, the Second Amendment seemed like it doesn't apply to black men. Just look at all the shootings that's been happening in the U.S. Overwhelming majority between the age of 18 and 28 has been, as far as mass shooting is concerned, has been Caucasian men. And it seemed like the Second Amendment applied to them because they always get arrested or talked down. And then they ended up in the back of the paddy wagon without shots being fired at them. But for a black man that's under that same circumstances, they shoot first. You have to understand what I'm trying to doggone put out here. The Second Amendment, yeah, it's for everybody, but it has deep roots in it. So why was the Second Amendment, why did it come around? Some people would say because the militia, the founding fathers or something like that, would say because they didn't have a standing militia, and because the British soldiers or the redcoats was over here doing a lot of intimidation. I don't know, things of that nature. But everybody knows what happened in the slave rebellion in, what is it, Stony Brook, South Carolina. The Stono Rebellion, okay. Of 1739. So everybody know what the Stony Rebellion is, right? The Stony Rebellion was in 1739, whereas the largest slave uprising in British mainland colonies, with 25 white people and 30 to 50 black people killed. And not long after that, the Second Amendment was born. Could it be because of that? I don't know. The problem with today's Second Amendment is when it came out, it was during colonial time. And they trying to put colonial time into modern time. What were those founding fathers of the Constitution thinking at the time? Who knows? But whatever it is, it's not working in today's society. And if it is, it's only working for one group of people. For blacks, don't look like it's working. And that's been proven over and over and over and over again. What can we do? It is appalling to know that everybody in the United States falls under the Constitution, that you have the right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and equal protection under the law. That is supposed to be for everybody, but it seems like it's not. So I don't know. But going back to my original question, do you think that police officers should be trained by military for hostile act and hostile intent? Because I know for me and my, fellow soldiers, that if we did something wrong, we were held accountable for what we did. So it's just something that I'm just thinking about. Maybe you guys can comment and let me know exactly what you feel. I mean, I definitely welcome all comments. I don't care what it is, bad, good, whatever. I usually respond to any comment. Some people just might be a complete a-hole and just respond with some BS. And then, of course, I'll get them some BS right back. But please respond to this right here. This right here is not going anywhere no time soon. Somebody got to be held accountable for this young man's life being lost. Hey, this is Tommy from the Black Story channel. If you like this content that I'm bringing you, I'm trying to do a little bit more politics, but I'm also going to do some Black history. And again, I told you from the first video that I am trying to learn Adobe Animate. I finally got the book in, so I'll be going through a learning curve with Adobe Animate so I can start doing that. But for now, I'm just going to do a lot of politics about what's going on in the Black community. Hey, subscribe, please. I'm trying to grow this right here channel. And don't forget to hit the like button and turn on the alert or the bell, because more videos will be coming your way. Thank you for watching this, and I'll see you on the next video.